Hello, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, I'm Angelica, and today we're creating the cutest fall nail set. We're doing sweater texture, 3D pumpkins, plaid. It's gonna be a whole cozy fall vibe. Before we jump in, I want to make sure you subscribe so don't miss any of my nail tutorials, vlogs, or beginner-friendly tips. Like most of my videos before, I've already prepped my nail plate and I went ahead and styled my tips off camera so that you guys can just see the application of the tips and we can get straight into the actual video. Next, I'm blending the tips into the natural nail so the surface stays smooth when I polish. I'm using my e-file on a low speed for this, nice and controlled. I chose a square shape for this set because I feel like it gives it elegance. I don't know, long nails for this kind of pumpkin fall vibe set is perfect. I know that these nail tips are already matte, but I went ahead and buffed the entire surface of the nail just to make sure that the gel polish will adhere properly. It's just like a habit at this point, so I do it for all of my nail sets regardless if the tip is buffed or not. Here I'm just going in with a hand file. I want to get that kind of C curve at the end of the nail tip. I want it to have like that crescent moon shape. So I'm going in at an angle and filing down. It does get a bit tricky when you're doing it on yourself, so I also recommend just grabbing a sanding band whenever you're struggling to get the right angle, and you could actually use the sanding band to give it that angle. Here, I'm just going in with a rubber base coat to add a base layer to the tips and a little bit more strength. I don't really build them up because the strength is in the tip, so I don't have to build strength on top of this nail. And next week is actually Thanksgiving. I'm super excited for Thanksgiving. Last year I didn't really celebrate it, but this year my brother's coming in from New York City, so I bet he's bringing his girlfriend and his son might come over, so I get to see my nephew. So I'm gonna be making kind of a big Thanksgiving dinner. I already got everything like 2 weeks ahead of time, and I cannot wait for Thanksgiving. It's gonna be so much fun. Now this has me wondering what everybody else is doing for Thanksgiving. Are you gonna celebrate this year? Are you planning to make a turkey? Also, like, how do you make turkeys not dry? I'm dying to know because whenever I put a turkey in the oven, I guess I overcook it. I'm not sure, but I make sure it's cooked and it always ends up dry. So, what are your Thanksgiving plans? And I guess this is just me being a busybody, a little nosy miss, because I really want to know. So drop a comment down below. I wonder if you guys are going to have any family over this year. Or are you going to family's house to celebrate Thanksgiving? Now getting into the base colors for this set, I'm using a jelly brown color by Beauty Pal, and I'm also using these orange polishes from Lanfo. Lanfo used to have its own website, but now I think they're only selling on Amazon. So if you want to check them out, they should be on there. It's been a while since I bought gel polishes from there. Honestly, I'm not an orange kind of girl. Like, it's really rare for me to be like, oh, look at this, it's orange and so pretty. But for today's fall nails, I definitely want to go orange. I think that I usually tend to steer towards browns and reds for fall. So I want to do something a little bit different. And to be honest, orange can be pretty. It can be really pretty depending on how you use it. It's actually kind of ironic that it took me doing this nail set for me to be like, I should probably use orange more often. It's kind of cute. I'm gonna be doing 2 coats of the colors on each nail except for the jelly nail. I want it to be more transparent. I don't want to build it too much. I decided the pinky nail is gonna be a glitter nail, full glitter. I only did 1 coat of the glitter. I wish I would have done 2 and only 1 of the base color. That way there would be more of a glitter payoff in the end, but it's okay. We live and we learn. So on my middle finger, I'm gonna go in and do a deep V French. This is going to be the base for the pumpkin nail. Sorry if it's a little bit out of focus. And because this polish wasn't really meant to do Frenches, I'm gonna go in and do 2 coats of the orange for the French tip. Here, I'm just placing down on my paint palette the colors that I'm going to be using to create the plaid nail. Now jumping into the plaid design, I'm using a thin liner brush and I'm going to load it with black, white, and gold gel paint. I'm going to map out my first line, so I'm going to go straight down vertical with my white gel paint, and then I'm also going to go across and cure that first. Now I'm going to go in with black and outline all of the white parts. I wish I would have used a dark brown instead. I feel like the transition would have been a lot more subtle. But, you know, I already did black, so kind of stuck with it now. And once I'm done with the black, I'm going to go ahead and cure it so that I can start layering other lines. I think for plaid, it's more important for you to cure in between each set of lines. That way you don't cross over them and wipe them off. I tend to forget to do that. So, you know, just a reminder for you guys, cure in between each set of lines. That way you don't mess them up. I feel like plaid can be a little bit intimidating, but honestly, if you break it down into lines, it becomes so much easier. And if you have a reference photo, even better. That way, you have an idea of how you want to lay out your lines so that it's cohesive. Because when I started doing plaids, I know that they looked crazy and all over the place because I wasn't really looking at a reference. I just decided that I was going to do, choppy kind of squares and thought it would work out. I'm gonna go ahead and add matte onto my plaid nail because I want there to be like a difference. So I want the plaid to look matte and kind of textury, and then add a line of gold horizontal over the top and let that gold line be the only part of the nail that sparkles. I think that gives it a cute and really cool effect. Now I'm going to go ahead and top coat all of my fingers to make sure that whatever designs I'm doing next, I don't interfere with the layer that's underneath it. It just helps seal everything in and get you ready for the next step. Next is the sweater texture nail. It's an absolute fall classic. You'll see this in almost every fall and Christmas nail set. It's a go-to and a must. So I'm gonna just add like the orange gel polish over top to create the sweater texture, and you're gonna notice that because I'm using the same color as the base of the nail, I'm really just going in blind. I can't see or determine where I'm really putting down marks. So I don't know, it kind of came out pretty good for someone who couldn't see what the heck they were doing. There's a lot of different textures that you can create when doing a sweater nail. I think I just go for the most basic pattern. It's honestly the easiest one. You lay down two vertical lines, and in the middle you draw like kind of like a zigzag, to be honest. And every time I think about it while I'm doing sweater texture patterns, I think like crisscross applesauce for some reason. It just plays nonstop in my head because that's what it looks like to me. But I think the way that most people refer to that like design in the middle, the little zigzag, is like cable lines. And whenever we're talking about this design, I'll see it a lot on comments and threads on Facebook where people are asking, so what's the white powder you put on top? What's the white powder you put on top? It's actually just clear acrylic powder. Nothing too special, something that most people have. You just go ahead and you drench the nail in clear acrylic powder, shake off the excess, cure your nails for 60 seconds, and then you dust it, and that's it. Isn't she pretty? She's so freaking pretty. So after careful consideration, I decided I'm gonna put a little bling on some of these nails because I can. I just felt like it needed some shimmer, some shine, some diamonds. When in doubt, put diamonds on your nails. I promise you, you can never go wrong. And now we're getting started on a 3D portion of the nail design. For all of the 3D portion of the design, I'm going to be using this 3D carving clay that I got from Amazon. On my thumbnail, I wanted to do like leaves. But like, listen, Linda, look, listen, Linda, look, listen. I I didn't really look at any tutorials on how to do fall leaves, so I kind of went in blind. I didn't have a reference picture or anything like that. I just decided, you know what, let's just grab a big old ball of 3D carving jelly and go in and create a fall leaf. And I thought it was gonna be awesome. Then I realized, I guess my sculpting skills are not there yet. I really gotta practice. So I left it in the video and I left it on my nail so that you guys can see what happens when, you don't know what the heck you're doing. And this is the moment she realized she had messed up. But hey, it's an experience. You live and you learn. And here's where I decided to fully commit to this nail set. We're gonna go in with a 3D pumpkin. Originally, I really wanted a super hyper realistic pumpkin, and then I realized that that wasn't gonna be possible. So I gave up midway and went with whatever pumpkin I was able to get. I'm not really sure why I struggled to get the ridges curved, but I did, so there's that. I'm definitely gonna need a little bit more practice on my 3D sculpting, but either way, I still do it and I enjoy it, even through the frustration. Now I'm just trying to create a little stem for the pumpkin, and I also want to add a little leaf. I'm using this silicone tool to kind of mold it and get them to stick together because I want them to be attached. And if you've never tried 3D, give it a try. Like, allow yourself some permission to experiment and try new things out. I know at first it's probably not going to look perfect, but go for it. I mean, the more you work on it and the more you practice, you're going to get better every single time. I decided to shade my pumpkin to add a little bit more realism. I thought that if I added a little bit more of a darker color, it would make the pumpkin itself pop. I feel like it worked. It made it a little bit more realistic. After looking at my nails for a little bit, I guess I just made the executive decision to wing it. I wanted to add more things to my nails but didn't know what, so I kind of just did whatever. And since you can never go wrong with diamonds, I added a few more for a little extra sparkle sparkle razzle dazzle. Now we just top coat the nail one more time to seal everything in and to make sure that no leaf was left behind. Now I'm just gonna add leaves to the bottom of the pumpkin. I initially wanted to do more pumpkins and quickly decided against it. I felt like the leaves would be cuter than having like 4 pumpkins stacked on top of each other. Now we're just gonna top coat it to seal it all in, and we're basically done with this design. And that's the final pumpkin set. Sweater texture, plaid, 3D pumpkins. It's super cozy, cute, and perfect for the fall season. Thank you so much for watching my video. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. What design do you want to see next? You want to see winter? Do you want to see another fall nail set? And yeah, just leave a comment down below. I'm super excited to see what you guys comment about what you want to see next. I have a couple of videos in mind, but I'm definitely open for suggestions. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!